everyone, to another season review preview for another club, and we're joined by someone who's famous in the Twitter circles, probably as the future Mrs. Cam Dempster, who is a big Blues fan. But we've got the lovely Lauren, who is a Brisbane girl, and she's going to help us look at Brisbane. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks, Pommy. How are you?
Oh, can't complain. No one listens anymore.
That's good. I love how you said I was famous. That's the only time I've ever been called famous. Careful, my head might get too big.
Yeah, you're famous to us. I mean, all the Carlton fans will know you on Twitter as one of the nice opposition fans.
That's it. Yeah, I do like a bit of banter here and there, but most of the time I'm pretty nice. So I think that's how I stay friends with everyone on Twitter, which is nice.
You're definitely in the top 2% of opposition fans.
Yeah. That's good. I feel like Brisbane Twitter is a very safe space. Like nobody is really that crazy. They're all pretty calm. So it's I feel like sometimes when Twitter goes a bit crazy, I'm like, just get me back to Brisbane Twitter because it's nice and calm over there and I like it.
Well, I can tell you as a Carlton fan, Carlton Twitter is quite safe when you win.
Yeah.
So it might have something to do with it.
That's true. Perhaps that's it. Fingers crossed 2023 might be a little bit calmer for you.
Let's hope so. But your Brisbane boys, they were phenomenal this year, just gone. Unfortunately, losing in the prelim to the eventual winners, Geelong. But how did you feel as a Brisbane fan? Was that where you expected? Were you happy with it?
I wish that the prelim hadn't ended, obviously, the way that it did. I feel like by the time we'd got to the prelim, we were just on such a huge high. After the semi-final, it was just euphoria. And we're like, this is it. This is the year that we do it. We're going all the way. And then I think that prelim final was just so deflating that it sort of just knocked the wind out of the year a little bit, which was disappointing because it was a really good year. I feel like we can't be too disappointed. Premierships are extremely hard to win. So the fact that we were able to be as consistent, I think, as we were all year is something from a Brisbane fan that, we missed out on for such a long time. So I'm just, I was really pleased that we were able to get as far as we did. But it still hurt a lot, yeah.
I imagine so, because you were for most parts of the year, it did look like you were the ones that were going to match Geelong. Geelong were so good in the year as they always are, but you guys had something about you. And like you say, it felt like the game before was your grand final. You played so well.
Yeah.
It kind of got messy, didn't it, towards the end in that prelim?
It did. And I think also following that elimination final with Richmond, they would have just been exhausted, mentally, physically, emotionally. What those two wins would have taken out of them, I think, was massive. And after seeing what Geelong did in the grand final, the way they won that premiership, they were the best team all year. They deserved to win it. They were just amazing. So what can you do?
Well, I mean, trust me, as a Carlton fan, I'd love to just get battered in a prelim final. That sounds like my idea of heaven.
That's it. That's it. And it's funny, we were there and Cam was just like, at least you're here. I think that semi-final was just it was so nice. He was very supportive. And I think he obviously hadn't been in a final like that for a little while. So I think he sort of just rode the wave as much as what we did. But I think after that, he was just I want that. That's the feeling that I want to have. So, and, it doesn't matter how many times it happens. You just want it again and again every year.
I can't wait to be in that position. I can tell you. I think I speak on all Carlton fans. I long to have that feeling year after year.
Yeah, I long for it for you guys because obviously, I don't get to see a lot of Brisbane games, but I'm a reserve member with Cam. So, being in Geelong, we go to the footy like nearly every week. So I have a very soft spot in my heart for Carlton. So it's funny though, like this year just gone, obviously like Brisbane had been going well for a couple of years, and I'd never really, like, since being with Cam, we hadn't really had that like rivalry together, because like Carlton just weren't quite there. And so this year was like the first time that we'd like had that rivalry. And I'm like, next year, like when Carlton make finals and Brisbane make finals, I'm like, what are we going to do? Like, what's going to, like, luckily we'll already be married by then, because I don't know how like we're going to cope.
Yeah, I've been lucky. My wife supports St Kilda, so like pretty much when we were rubbish, they were rubbish as well. So
yeah,
it's kind of like we're always in the same position. So it's been quite good.
Good.
But I feel for Cam, because my wife's team have played more finals than Carlton have in recent times, and there is something lovely to support your wife's team to help her, but also you hate her at the same time.
Yeah, that's it. I think that's definitely how Cam feels. A little bit happy, very much jealous.
Now, when the season finished, what were you thinking as a fan? What were you hoping to see come in? Was there anything that you thought, we really need this so we can get to that next level?
I think the off-season that we had ticked like every box that I think that it really could have. Bringing in Dunkley is like massive for our midfield. Like, I think his like season average for tackles was like 7 or something like that. And I just think, you know, Brisbane are known a little bit like that we're not that defensive, and I think that's definitely somewhere that our midfield has struggled. Like, I think like Lachie Neale's amazing, but his average tackles are like 3 or something like that. Like, they're so much lower than Dunkley's. Oh, sorry, there's my cat. So I'm like super keen to add him to the midfield. And we knew for the whole year pretty much that McStay was going to go. And I think that Gunston is like a huge upgrade. McStay was very loyal, and I'm very thankful for, you know, his time at Brisbane. But being able to get Gunston in is just, I feel like it's going to help that forward line so much. Even like what he can bring knowledge-wise, like forward craft-wise to that forward line, just helping it function a little bit more, because it's just so talented. Like, all of them I think are really talented. I feel like it just needs to function a little bit better. So that's going to be amazing. And the only thing towards the end of last year that we were all thinking perhaps was that we might have needed like a little bit more speed in defense, especially. And then we like miraculously got McKenna. So like, I feel like we've just had the luckiest, I don't know if I can call it luck, but like we've just had such a good off season. Like, I can't remember like an off season like this since that was exciting since we got Lockie. So I feel like the pressure for 2023 is going to be on though.
It is one of them things. I think I have been very amazed at Brisbane. Like you say, the fact that you technically got Dunkley for free. I always think as well, because you got Ashcroft with the picks you lost. You were guaranteed Ashcroft. Like, it was like a free hit.
Yeah. I just, knowing like too that we were going to get Ashcroft, I think I was talking to Cam about this. We obviously like pretty much knew that we were going to get him, but like there was a point there where, you know, at the beginning of the season that, you know, he was living in Melbourne and we weren't really sure whether he was going to come or anything like that. And just knowing that he had made that decision to commit to Brisbane, like before the like draft and everything like that, was just amazing, because previously that's just not something that would have happened to Brisbane. Like, this off season has been the most exciting, I think, because like those father sons, they wanted to come to Brisbane, and Dunkley, he wanted to come to Brisbane, and Gunston, they wanted to come to Brisbane. Like, it really felt like a destination club. And I feel like, you know, being in Queensland, that's just not something that we have like ever experienced before. Like, we were dog shit, and nobody wanted to come to us. But at least like Carlton, a massive club, like at least you get to play in front of like, 80,000 people and stuff, even when you're not going so well. So I think things have like really turned for us. And that's, what I've found so amazing for this off season.
It's awesome for you. And I mean, you touched on Gunston. When I watch Brisbane, the one thing I get from you guys is you're always at the wedding, but you're never the bride. You always are the chief bride's groom or someone like that. You're never quite there. You're always in that bridesmaid category. And I love Gunston because he is someone that traditionally plays his best games in the big games. And I think that's going to help you guys.
Yeah, 100%. I totally agree with that. I think just, what he's going to be able to bring, just his maturity, the fact that he's, so successful, like, you need to bring those type of guys into your footy club. And I know that we might have been like successful over the last couple of years, but it's nothing compared to what he can bring into the club. And I'm so excited. Can't wait.
Let's talk about your draft, because obviously you got probably the most hyped pick one for a while. Will Ashcroft has been talked about for a long time, and he's a phenomenal footballer, and he probably is pick one. GWS were just nice and didn't do it, but you must be really excited to see that young man who can pretty much do anything join a very successful midfield already.
Oh yeah, I can't believe like how lucky we've got to be able to like have him walk into our club pretty much. Like, let's be honest. I'm so excited. He's watching some of his footage. I'm just like, how is he only 18 years old? Like, I feel like he's pretty much obviously going to walk like straight in. And, I've been reading some stuff and everyone's like, oh, so similar to like Sam Walsh and stuff like that. And I'm like, I'll take Sam Walsh's like left leg. So like, I honestly, I can't wait. It's going to be good.
I love it. And the one guy that I am super excited about is Jasper Fletcher. And you touched on the speed factor. This guy is someone I've talked about a lot on this show that I was shocked no one bid on him a bit earlier. But he must excite you as well, because he's been playing seniors already as well. And looks like something I don't think Brisbane have got. Someone who is real quick, really elusive, and really attacking. You've got two really good kids, and Dunkley. Like I kept saying this in the draft, that they've got Dunkley already and two top 20 players for free in one go.
Yeah.
But first, an ad.
Sponsors of today's channel are Manscaped, the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Their products are precision engineered to look after the most important jewels in your house, your family jewels. Manscaped's performance package is an absolute game changer, and it's the ultimate in men's hygiene. Join over 7 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped, and I've got an exclusive offer for you. 20% off, free worldwide shipping if you use the code POMMY at manscaped.com at the checkout. And if my maths is correct, that's around 14 million balls that they service. Time to throw out your razor. Performance Package 4.0 is, like I say, a game changer. You want to take your on-ball game to the next level, Manscaped will help you out. And I've got to say, the boxers that with their anti-chafing technology are the comfiest things I have put my pert little behind on. Click the link, get 20% off and free shipping with code POMMY, that's POMMY, at manscaped.com. 20% off, free shipping anywhere in the world. Unlock your confidence and use the right tools from the job and take your on-ball game to the next level.
Back to you in the studio.
Yeah. It's funny, like, I feel like we're sort of been missing. I know that like the midfield and everything's like sort of been going well, but like we really have been missing like someone on the wing that's just like there all the time, super quick, and can have that like ongoing position, like cement their sort of spot there. So I know that I think Fletcher, has he recently had a stress fracture in his back? Is that something? Yeah. So that's the only thing that worries me a little bit. I know that his preseason, I think, is going to be starting a little bit later. So that's the only thing worries me a little bit. I don't know if he's going to walk up and start straight away like Ashcroft probably will. But I think he plays a bit more on the wing, Fletcher. Doesn't he? Yeah. So I'm hoping that he might be able to cement his spot there, and we can sort of figure that position out a little bit, because I know that we were trialing some things through there. I know the second half of the year they tried to put Berry there a little bit, and Dev Robertson, and I just don't know if it's 100% been clicking there for sure. So it'd be interesting to see if he can get that full preseason into him, and then maybe push for a cementing a spot there. But it's funny that you say that you thought he was going to go a little bit sooner, because I don't think that the Brisbane fans are too happy that the doggies bit on him. I feel like there's a little bit of a war going on there.
Well, I thought it was poetic justice. The doggies did it.
Yeah.
To be honest, it was kind of they lost their star and they made you do it. But I mean, at the end of the day, what I've really been impressed with you guys is the development of your players. You seem to develop them really well. McCluggage has come from nowhere. He looks a superstar. You took Berry from Gold Coast, and Gold Coast pretty much said he was going to be rubbish, and he's become a superstar in his own right. You've got a really good system there to seem to maximize the potential of these young boys.
Yeah, no, the McCluggage and Berry is I love seeing how well they've done, because the Berry boys are actually from the same country town as what Cam and I are from, and McCluggage is obviously from, I think, Ballarat, near there anyway. So it's so nice to see that they've been able to stick around too. I feel not only are they developing them well, but they've created Fags especially he's a dad figure to them. They're all moving up there. They're all so far away, a lot of them, from their friends and family when they have all moved up there. And so they've been able to develop them well and be able to keep them there and have them enjoying their footy and enjoying their life. And there's Cam and everything. So I'm really proud of the club that they've been able to hold on to these kids and develop them the way that they have and turn them into superstars. McCluggage is he was obviously a really high draft pick, so we expected him to be good, but he's just so consistently good. I just trust him so much when he's out there now, so it's good.
It's exciting times, and we've talked about Will Ashcroft as the pick one. There's a pick one there that I really was impressed with last year as well. And I'd love a Brisbane fan's take. In Cam Rayner, he was heavily billed when he came in the draft, and I thought last year he really started to show signs of what he's about, and he looks a really exciting prospect for Brisbane this year, in coming up to his big year really as a young boy.
Oh, 100%. It's very disappointing, that ACL, because obviously it's put him back a year. So 2023, he's 100%, that's going to be his breakout year. He showed signs of it, towards the end of the year. That St Kilda game late, we were at that game, and he just said, boys, just jump on my back, let's go. It was just so awesome. And I was this is the Cam Rayner that we know. The way that he bursts out of stoppages is just so explosive, so exciting. And he was even doing that in the prelim against Geelong. I feel everyone, all the boys had just pretty much hung their head nearly at that point. They were just it's over. And he was just every stoppage, he was just bursting out. He's let's go, let's keep going. And so I am so excited. And I know that a lot of Brisbane fans, majority of them, are really pumped for Cam Rayner next year, because I think that, that's definitely the year that he's going to cement himself for sure.
And you've got a real solid squad. When I look at your team, I think there's not any holes. As a Brisbane fan, obviously you were limited this year in what you could do in the draft. With the draft finished, is there anything that if you had a magic wand you would like to add to Brisbane's side? Is there a weakness you see that you wish you had fixed?
It's funny, I was having to think about this one, and I think when it comes to like positions and everything like that, I feel like we have filled the gaps that we needed to fill as well as we could. I don't think it's as much about now filling the gaps. I think it's more like in the coach's box or mentally for the guys now, coming off like 3 or 4 years now of, getting so close and having such a good, consistent year, and then getting to finals and, falling over those final hurdles. And even in games as well, we really put our foot down and, create such a good lead, and then we can just see it evaporate so quickly. And I feel like, I can't use like those words on here, but I feel like we need to get a little bit more like something about us. Like, I don't know if we're just a little bit too like timid or soft. I don't know if it's just like the personality of the group or something like that, but I think that's something in 2023 that I'm going to be looking for. I think that's the hole that we need to fill, is that mental hole of just like grabbing onto a game and like just choking it because, we've been doing so well, but we just can't like, take that next step and really like punish teams and, put the foot down kind of things. So I'm hoping that's what we can do next year.
I think that's fair. There is such a weird side to watch Brisbane because they're so good, and you do feel like their best is good enough to beat anyone in the league.
Yeah, 100%. That's 100% it. And I don't know if it's sometimes that like they don't really know that they're like 100% good enough to beat any team in the league, but they should know that because like they've shown it time and time again that that's what they can do. I'm hoping that, they take that elimination final and the semi-final win, and that just drives them into next year. I've been seeing preseason stuff of Lachie Neale, and I'm like, God, that man wants a premiership. Like, he is just like so determined, and I feel like hopefully that's just going to like flow through to everyone else. And yeah, hopefully might be the year.
Well, talking about next year, what are your expectations? What if we do this next year? What are you telling me we've done? What do you hope Brisbane achieve next year, and what's likely?
Well, I never say that the expectation is a premiership, because I just think you can't say that. Like, they're so hard to win, and that's what everyone wants. But I feel like the expectation is 100% a grand final. Like, that is like the off season that we've had, the draft that we've had, the trades that we've had, the last 4 years that we've had. We have to make a grand final. Otherwise, it's probably a failure. Like, a premier, once you get to the grand final, it is what it is kind of thing. Like, anything can happen at that time. But I think that 2023 expectations is definitely going to be like consistency. Like, I want to see consistency, and hopefully that consistency just takes us all the way to the grand final, because can't do another prelim loss.
I look
Sorry.
at your guys. It's okay. I'll forgive you because I like you.
Yeah.
But, I look and I just think you're too good not to get there. Like, I think Conor McKenna, if he can be Conor McKenna that we remember when he was here the first time, that scares me. Daniel Rich and him taking it out of your back half of the ground. And for some reason, Fagan has turned Joe Danaher into a consistently good forward as well. Like, him and Hipwood really started to look like a dangerous combination. And if it fires, I'd say watch out.
And that's the thing, though, is that I don't think people, unless you're following Brisbane more, I don't know if people really realise that the inconsistency that forward line has actually had is just so much. Like, you know, with Hipwood's ACL and Daniher's shoulder and everyone being injured, like it wasn't until right towards the end of the year that they all started consistently playing together. So the fact, like I'm hoping, touch wood, that, you know, they can get that full preseason together, they can get some consistency, and I feel like it's hopefully going to make a real difference.
Well, I mean, on behalf of Pommy and Oz, we wish you the very, very best of luck, except versus Carlton, as we always do.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how that one's going to go. I think I'll have to just, like, I don't know, move out for a day and leave Twitter.
But obviously, you know, make sure you check out Loz on the Twitter. She is a wonderful girl, and she's knowledgeable, and she's quite funny as well. I'll give her that. She's got her moments of banter as well. But we wish you the best, and good luck next year. It's next year, isn't it? When you get married to the wonderful Cam. How far away are we?
Yeah. It's on the 4th of Feb, so we're getting pretty close. Yeah. Ooh. I'm sure we'll be posting. I'm sure we'll be posting a lot on Twitter. Twitter might be the first people that see it. Someone did say that we should live stream it, but yeah, don't know about that.
You should do.
We'll have to get it on live streaming on Pommy and Oz.
Hey, let's do it. I'll do the commentary.
Watch
I'll
along.
do the blow by blow.
Yeah.
I'll do the blow by blow.
Yeah.
But quick, before you go, when you have wonderful little babies, are they going to be Carlton fans or Brisbane fans?
Oh, this is the debate of the relationship, honestly. Cam reckons that all kids should just go for the father's team. But it's funny, it's funny how I started barracking for Brisbane, because my dad and my brother are both like one-eyed North Melbourne supporters. Poor souls. And so I think I was like 5 or 6 or something. It was during the 3P. Like, I will admit it, I was a 6-year-old bandwagoner. And I had like gone out to like a market with mum, and you could choose between, they must have been playing Collingwood that year. I think you could choose between like a Collingwood or a Brisbane little T-shirt for my baby doll. And I was like, no, I want the Brisbane one. Like, that's the team I want to barrack for. And mum's like, really? And I was like, really? And then I took it to my dad, and I was like, Dad, I'm going to barrack for Brisbane now. He's like, okay, well, you know, once you pick your team, that's it. You cannot change. You're not allowed. And I'm like, that's okay. I'll barrack for Brisbane. And then that's just, yeah. After the 3-peat, all I can remember is us being absolutely shit. So I don't know why I did that to myself, but like, it was Brisbane or North Melbourne, so I don't know. Yeah.
It's probably a long-term dub, to be fair.
Yeah,
it's a long-term
that's
move.
it. Yeah.
But
I put in the work. I put in the work.
I can officially say, as a father, Cam is telling a mistruth. There is no cultural thing that says you have to support your dad's team.
That's what I thought. I was like, I feel like, you know, just let them come, let them choose. The only thing that would, like, obviously I'd want them to barrack for Brisbane, but the only thing would be that, you know, I only ever got to see like a handful of games when I was younger, especially because we lived like 4 hours from Melbourne, so we didn't get to watch that many games. But, you know, we only play like 3 or 4 times in Victoria a year, so they would be able to go to the footy all the time. That would be my only reasoning for letting them barrack for Carlton.
Yeah, well, I mean, you just got to let them choose. Like, all of our kids got the free reign of the house to choose, and both me and Mummy tried to bribe them, and it ended up as a 50% success rate, really, for each kid.
That's it. If you have a couple, it's just one for each, and you're good to go.
Well, that's it. Well, we wish you all the best of luck in marriage and in everything, and thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Pommy. It's an honour and a pleasure.
Cheers. Thank you.
See ya.